Welcome back everyone to Planet Linux. Today we're looking at a distro that aims to take the positive aspects and improve on the pain points of Fedora to create an incredibly usable and stable experience. Now, before we dive into this, I do want to say that Fedora is an amazing Linux distribution. It has the perfect combination of stability and up-to-date software and provides a largely vanilla experience while remaining customizable. It has pioneered and advanced many Linux and open source technologies, and its dedication to exclusively free and open source software is inspiring. However, anyone that has used Fedora likely knows that that last point can lead to some complications. Whether it's trying to install software that isn't in the default repositories, trying to play videos or audio files, or simply trying to use your NVIDIA graphics card, the fact that Fedora doesn't come enabled with access to third-party software or include any proprietary media codecs or graphics drivers can make it a difficult system to set up and make usable without crunching out commands in the terminal. Now, don't get me wrong, Fedora does an amazing job of the things that it's trying to do, but it can be difficult to turn it into a complete and stable system for end users in a world where many things we do rely on third-party software and codecs. But that's where today's distro comes into play, and that's the Nobara project. Nobara is based on Fedora, but comes set up with various modifications like enabled third-party software repos, including third-party media codecs, proprietary graphics drivers, Wine and all of its dependencies for running Windows apps out of the box, and more. They also state that their goal is to create a more point-and-click friendly experience that ensure users don't have to use the terminal to set things up if they don't want to. While the terminal can be a fantastic and powerful tool, many users do appreciate having a straightforward and discoverable way to configure things graphically. So diving right in, I'm using the official edition here, which has this customized GNOME layout that provides a more traditional interface. However, if you do prefer vanilla GNOME, like that found in Fedora, or want to customize GNOME to your liking, the GNOME Edition ISO is definitely the way to go. There's also a KDE version, which I believe is based off of the Fedora KDE spin. And another immediate difference here is that Nobara is using the Calamares installer instead of Fedora's usual Anaconda installer, which, to be honest, is probably a good thing. Fedora is working on a new installer, but the current Anaconda one is not particularly user-friendly, so probably a good change here. But we'll jump forward to after the installation and take a look at what we have here. At its core, Nobara is a standard Fedora installation, just with the visual tweaks mentioned earlier for this edition. So you get all the benefits of each new Fedora release, plus the work that the Nobara developer is putting in on top of it. One of the first things I noticed was this Nobara software app pinned to the panel. This is a custom utility that allows you to easily manage the various added repositories and update all of your packages in one place. While everything offered here can be done in the terminal, this is a nice little graphical utility to manage and configure your repo settings and updates, considering that the standard GNOME software app can sometimes be finicky with updates from other repositories. Of course, that software center is still here for graphically installing apps. Now, as mentioned earlier, one of the biggest usability issues in Fedora is a lack of third-party codecs and drivers. Yet, as you can see here, Nobara includes many of the necessary media codecs pre-installed out of the box, and provides access to various versions of proprietary graphics drivers if needed. Those codecs in particular ensure that all media files work right out of the box, though do excuse the low resolution of this video. I had no idea how compressed this file was when I downloaded it, so it's the video's fault. The codecs are working perfectly fine. You can definitely tell that Nobara is set up to provide a smooth gaming experience as well, as it comes pre-installed with Steam and the Lutris Game Manager, as well as OpenRGB for managing most RGB hardware, and Winetricks, which will help you run many Windows native apps and games. Essentially, if you like the leading-edge approach of Fedora, where you get a stable base along with some of the latest software, then you should definitely give Nobara a try, as it takes everything great about Fedora and makes the system so much more usable straight out of the box. And I really do recommend giving this customized official edition a try. This GNOME-based experience provided here is tasteful and has some nice tweaks, including a tiling window toggle if you're interested, without feeling bloated or cumbersome in any way. Of course, the vanilla GNOME and KDE versions are here to suit your needs as well. Fedora has quickly become one of the go-to distros out there, and Nobara simply makes that even better. So I highly recommend giving it a try. Now, real quick, as the channel approaches 1,000 subscribers, I want to thank all of you for your continued support by offering a small something in return. I'll be creating a Q&A style video where I'll attempt to answer and provide solutions for any Linux-related questions that you have, so feel free to post them in the comments section, and I'll compile as many as I can into that upcoming video. In the meantime, I do hope you've found this look into the Nobara project helpful, and I look forward to seeing you next time on Planet Linux.